So let's say you got yourself a new drone. It arrives, you unbox it with the highest anticipation ever, you charge it, you update it to the latest firmware, and then you're ready to take this bad boy out for a spin. You know, follow you around the city, shoot you on the longboard, shoot you on a BTS shoot, all that cool stuff. But did you know that in the European Union, in the EASA countries, you have to be registered as a drone pilot in order to fly a drone, even if it's as small as this one, even if it's 130 grams, as long as the drone has a camera and it's not a toy, and for a drone to be considered a toy must not have a camera, then you have to be registered within the national authority of the country you are in. And that makes things slightly more complicated. Drones in the European Union are labeled from C0 to C6. Most people will fly in C0 and C1. C0 is for drones under 250 grams, C1 is for drones under 900 grams. This is a C0 drone, which means that it weighs less than 250 grams. And in the European Union, there are 3 categories in which your drone can fly: open category, the specific category, and the certified category. The specific and the certified require special training and special permits, special licenses. The open category is where most people will fly, and that is where you will fly the C0 and C1 up to C4. Now, within the open category, there are 3 subcategories: A1, A2, and A3. In the A1 subcategory, you can fly drones under 250 grams and under 900 grams, so C0 and C1, in urban and non-urban, extra-urban areas, but not over crowds of people. And of course, not in vicinity of an airport, police stations, and so on and so forth. It's written even in the manual of this drone here. The A3 category allows you to fly drones up to 20 kilograms outside of urban areas. I've never seen in my life a 20-kilogram drone like in real life. The A2 subcategory allows you to fly closer to people, up to, in theory, it's 30 meters, but you can get as close as 5 meters if the drone is in the slow mode. So it's really, really slow, and the people have to be informed, and they have to give their consent. But in order for you to fly in A2, you would have to get the license for A2, and the license for A2 requires you to get the license to fly in A1 and A3 subcategories. Now, for this particular drone under 250 grams, you are not required to have a license, although it is very, very recommended too, and it's also free in some European member states. But if you want to fly drones that are heavier than 250 grams, like the DJI AIR 2S, the Air series, the Pro series, then you would have to have the A1, A3 license. In the A3 subcategory, you will have to be 150 meters away from urban areas, and you cannot fly over people unless they've given their consent and they're informed of what you're doing. And in no case whatsoever you should ever fly over crowds of people. That's like a no-no. So let's say that you've registered on your national aviation organization. You will receive a code that you will have to apply on all of your drones that identifies you, and in case anything goes wrong, they will know who was there. And all of your drones have to have that. But is that enough? Unfortunately, it's not. You still need an insurance for this drone. Even for this small drone, you need an insurance. According to the EASA, you're not required to have a drone insurance for drones that are under 20 kilograms. But the national authorities might require you to have an insurance. Most countries in Europe do require you to have an insurance. There's a few that don't, but it's better to have it because it's better to be safe than sorry. You never know what can happen. Maybe you hurt somebody, or maybe you crack a window, or maybe something happens. You want to be covered. And in case something happens, you are obliged to inform the national authority as soon as possible. So you might have the professional insurance, the one that covers you for scenarios in which you are doing professional work, or there is the insurance for recreational use. It depends on what you do. It depends if you for example, monetize a YouTube channel, or if you work for clients, or stuff like that. So probably it's for the best if you're in that case, do it professionally. Otherwise, if you're just a recreational user, and even if you have a channel or you post on social media but you don't monetize that content, then you should be just fine with the recreational coverage. And after you've made your insurance, you have to check the maps. In each EU country, there's the National Aviation Authority that will provide those maps. Check them beforehand, and you will see that in some areas there's a red zone. Usually it's airports, usually it's some city that is a no-fly zone. Then there's like different areas like orange, yellow, and whatnot. And each area corresponds to a certain height or certain limitations that you will have to comply with. But in some cases, you can request the authorization to fly in a no-fly area. Now that depends on each country and actually on each city. For example, in Rome, Italy, you have to make a special request to the police. The police will come on the day that you have agreed, at the hour that you have agreed. They will inspect your authorization, your codes, everything, and then you can fly. For example, in Belgium, in the city of Brussels, you have to register online through a website, and then you can schedule your flights in certain areas. So they will know that at that time you will be flying, and you will have to access the website and let them know once you start taking off and once you finish and you land. Seems a lot easier when you get a drone and all the advertising is there. Oh yeah, just take it, it's a vlog drone, you go around the city and you do whatever. But it's not as easy. It's not very complicated once you get the gist of it, but at the same time it's not as easy as you take it outside of the box and then you just start flying. Take it with a pinch of salt, and always check the regulations in your country and in the city or the area you're trying to fly into. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or DM me on Instagram. I will gladly answer if I can. That being said, enjoy your drone and have a safe flight.